Today, we're uncovering the dark and brutal story of one of the most infamous pirates to ever sail the seas, Blackbeard. Born around 1680 in Bristol, England, the man who would become Blackbeard was christened Edward Teach. Little is known about his early life, but it's widely believed that he was born into a reasonably well-off family, receiving an education that made him literate, uncommon for many pirates of the time. The young Edward was drawn to the sea, and like many of his peers, he found work as a privateer during the War of Spanish Succession, where he honed his skills in naval combat. This experience would set the stage for his later transformation into one of the most feared pirates of all time. By the early 1710s, the war was over, but the allure of plundering the riches of the New World was too strong for Teach to resist. He joined a pirate crew and quickly rose through the ranks, thanks to his fierce demeanor and cunning tactics. It wasn't long before he captured his own ship, a massive French slaver that he refitted and armed to the teeth. He named it Queen Anne's Revenge, and with it, Edward Teach was reborn as Blackbeard. His new name was inspired by the thick, wild beard he grew, which he often braided and adorned with lit fuses during battle, creating a terrifying image of a demon come to life. Blackbeard's reputation wasn't just built on his fearsome appearance, it was his ruthless and brutal actions that truly made him a legend. His reign of terror across the Caribbean and the American colonies was marked by unimaginable cruelty. He didn't just rob ships, he tortured their crews. Survivors told tales of how Blackbeard would set prisoners on fire, using slow-burning matches to ignite their hair, just to watch them scream. He believed that the more terrifying the stories about him, the less likely anyone would resist. But his cruelty wasn't reserved for his enemies alone. Blackbeard was known to be unpredictable, even with his own crew. He once shot one of his lieutenants in the leg during a dinner, simply because if he did not now and then kill one of them, they would forget who he was. This act of sheer brutality ensured that fear, not loyalty, kept his men in line. Blackbeard also blockaded entire ports, holding towns hostage until they met his demands. In 1718, he blockaded Charleston, South Carolina, capturing prominent citizens and threatening to slaughter them if his demands for medicine weren't met. The terrified town complied, knowing that Blackbeard's threats were never idle. But even the most feared pirates must face their end. By 1718, Blackbeard's terror had drawn the attention of colonial authorities. The governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, was determined to end the pirates' reign of terror. He sent Lieutenant Robert Maynard to hunt Blackbeard down. On November 22, 1718, off the coast of North Carolina, Maynard caught up with Blackbeard. The battle that followed was fierce and bloody. Blackbeard fought with the ferocity of a man possessed, but despite his strength and cunning, he was eventually overwhelmed. His final moments were as brutal as his life. He was shot 5 times and slashed with over 20 sword wounds before finally falling. Maynard decapitated Blackbeard's corpse, hanging the severed head from his ship's bowsprit as a warning to other pirates. It was a gruesome end for a man who had terrorized the seas for years, but it only added to the dark legend of Blackbeard. Blackbeard's death marked the end of an era, but his legend lived on. Tales of his fearsome appearance, brutal tactics and merciless nature became the stuff of nightmares, cementing his place in history as the quintessential pirate. Even today, the name Blackbeard conjures images of dark sails, burning fuses, and blood-soaked battles on the high seas. Was Blackbeard truly the devil of the seas, or just a man who understood the power of fear? Perhaps both. What's certain is that his story, like all great legends, will continue to be told for centuries to come. Thank you for watching this episode of Ancient Legends Reborn. If you enjoyed the story of Blackbeard, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more legendary tales.